And welcome back to the Gran Turismo Online Touring Series. We are here at the Nurburgring, 170 turns and one lap to sort it all out. It's gonna be a thriller here today at Nurburgring. This is most definitely gonna be one of the most difficult races we have ran all season. Every corner is different. Some of these drivers have some experience here, but there's going to be a lot of hard racing because you only get one chance. If you run off the track, that is pretty much your race is over. So there's no room for error at all here during this race at Nürburgring. It's going to be a thriller here after we had an okay race at Monza yesterday, which saw a lot of tempers overflowing after the race, a lot of emotions, and let's see if it will affect the finishes of today's race. So let's go down to our Metz painting grid walk. Let's not waste any time, and let's get ready to go racing. So on your Metz painting grid walk, starting up front, which the starting grid is based off of where they finished at yesterday at Monza. So last week's winner, he won back-to-back races. Donnie Wu is starting on the pole. Donnie Wu had a very great race. He won the pole by a long shot, and after a move to get past Javen Tucker, Donnie Wu pulled away and led the last 20 minutes of the race in dominating fashion, pulled away from the rest of the field, and just went out there and had an excellent race. Donnie Wu was able to cut. He was 25 points behind Rashad Metz in the championship standing going into Monza, but now he is only 5 points behind. Donnie Wu is looking for another good finish here today to take the points lead with only 2 more races to go in the season. So could this affect the championship points here today? Let's see if he will be able to get it done here today in the one-lap shootout. Only one lap to sort it out. Starting in second spot, Trevor Levine. Trevor Levine has finished second 2 races in a row now. He has not won a race since the second race of the season at Laguna Seca. So a lot of seconds in there for him. He's looking to get up front and go back to victory lane. He is now only 65 points out of the championship lead right now, so he's looking to gain a bunch of ground on, or get closer to Donnie Wu, which is right in front of him, and really close to Rashad Metz, who is the current championship leader. He's one of only 4 drivers that is still championship eligible mathematically based off of points. So he is looking to stay in contention as we come down to only 2 races. So good luck to Trevor Levine. Rolling off in the third spot is Miles Johnson, one of his better starting positions this season. Miles Johnson, he really needs to do good this race. This is his last chance if he wants to stay championship able or championship eligible. As you see that he still has the red spoiler splitter and white windshield banner, which shows that he's still mathematically eligible for the championship. So he is hoping to keep that Brown Motorworks 06 car toward the front. He's trying to gain some points. He needs to finish ahead of Rashad Metz if he wants to stay in contention. This is his last shot in order to stay in contention. So he's going to be going all out here today, and he only has 1 lap to shoot it out, as we have been saying over and over again. This is a true test of talent in this race. Rolling off in the 4th spot is Rashad Metz. What a frustrating race for the points leader at Monza. He finished last out of only 5 cars, but he still finished last. And Donnie Wu, who's right behind him in points, finished first. He had a 25-point buffer, and now it's down to 5 points. He needs to gain some ground, some ground here today at Nürburgring. He's just frustrated after last week. The pressure may be starting to get to him. He's hoping for a good finish today and maybe even try to go out there and get the win. Keep all eyes on Rashad Metz. He is going to be really aggressive, going for points and trying to win that championship battle with only 2 races remaining. And now we are going to roll back. We're going to roll back to the 5th spot, where we will have Michael Shoemaker here in the Alfa Romeo. Michael Shoemaker made a start a couple races ago at Sarth. He did alright. He finished 5th in the race, which is not bad. So he's looking to improve on that starting position or finish position. Hopefully he can have a good race here today. His highest finishing position is 5th, but he knows he can do better. He's just trying to get a handle on this and maybe even go for the Rookie of the Year award, the GTO Rookie of the Year award, which Trevor Levine is currently leading the Rookie of the Year award since he did not run last season in the weekly series. And last but not least, Javen Tucker. Javen Tucker was very, very aggressive during the last race at Monza, which left a lot of people that are still eligible for the points or championship, left them frustrated because Javen Tucker is not eligible to win the championship no more. He has been mathematically eliminated. He cannot gain enough points to win the championship. But he has still been racing all the championship drivers very aggressively, which a lot of drivers were not happy with that, and it displayed that after the race. So let's see how aggressive he will be today just to try to go out for a win, and how hard he race the championship contenders. So 6 cars are lined up ready to go, and we have concluded your Mets painting grid walk. Who's going to win it today? Will Donnie Wu win 3 races in a row, which would be a GTO series record? Or will someone like Rashad Metz or Miles Johnson spoil the party? You don't know what's going to happen here. Only 1 lap to sort everything out. 1 mistake by a leader could cost them the race. A lot could happen here. This is the first time we have done this. It is going to be a thriller. We are so excited to see what is going to happen here. And let's not waste any time. Let's get ready to get this thing underway. And the lights are out. We are green flag racing in the 1-lap shootout at Nurburgring. Donnie Wu gets the lead going into turn 1. Trevor Levine 3 wide behind them going into the turn. Able to sort it out. Miles Johnson gets shuffled back to 4th spot. Ooh, a lot of contact there. Almost sending Rashad Metz off the track. Donnie Wu still your leader. Trevor Levine close behind. Some drivers 3 wide trying to get past Michael Shoemaker, who's a little bit slower in the Alfa Romeo. Donnie Wu your leader, a little bit off the track there. Mostly single file now throughout the pack. Trevor Levine now working on the number 24 car of Rashad Metz. Oh, and Rashad Metz makes a move for the lead. He pushes Donnie Wu out of the way. Trevor Levine takes the lead back from Rashad Metz. What a move there. Rashad Metz trying to take the lead and ended up costing him the lead at the same time. Ooh, a lot of wiggling there by Trevor Levine. As we now have separated about two packs. We are still on the smaller side of the track, which Formula 1 has raced in the past, which is wider, has more runoff area. But as we make that sharp left-hand turn onto the rest of the track, it's going to narrow up a lot. There's going to be almost no runoff room, and the track is just going to get that much more difficult for these drivers, as Rashad Metz is right on the bumper of Trevor Levine as they go through the chicane. Javen Tucker able to get past Miles Johnson for that 5th spot. Michael Shoemaker's dropped back to 6th. Really loose as we start making the left-hand turn onto the harder part of the track. Trevor Levine, your leader. Rashad Metz still close behind. Will they be able to pull away from each other? Javen Tucker is making up some ground here on the leaders off the track. Both of the leaders off the track. That's going to allow Donnie Wu to gain some time on him in the BMW M3. Donnie Wu still trying to run 3 races in a row and gaining some more points on Rashad Metz. If one of these front runners makes a mistake, it will be so easy for the rest of the front runners to pounce on them and take the lead from them. As Javen Tucker still steadily gaining on the leaders. And Trevor Levine starting to get off to a little bit of a lead here. This track has 170 different turns, and we only have one time to go through all of them. Every single turn is different. So if you're not experienced at this track, which it is very hard to be, Rashad Metz had a bit of a moment there, almost going off the track. It is amazing to see what the driver, this number 24 Metz painting car, can do under pressure, which he is definitely in. Donnie Wu, who's only 5 points behind him, is right behind him on the track, and Rashad Metz is doing an excellent job to keep that number 24 car on the track and contending for the win right now, as Trevor Levine is just ahead of him as they go into the very narrow part of the track. Miles Johnson has faded back to 5th, which is definitely not looking good if he wants to stay in championship contention. If he finishes around this area at the end of the race, he will definitely be out of championship contention, which will be a story to watch. The champion from last year not being able to compete for another championship, sorry. Trevor Levine still off to the lead by a couple car lengths. Ooh, way off the track. Almost goes for Rashad Metz. That allows Donnie Wu to close right in on the back bumper. Ooh, a little nudge there. See if they'll start battling for second place, which will even help. It'll help Trevor Levine to pull away even more. As you see through those moves right there, Trevor Levine was able to gain over a second lead on the two drivers fighting for second. This right here that we are watching right now is the battle for the points lead. If Donnie Wu is able to get past Rashad Metz, they will be tied for the points lead with only 2 races remaining in the season. But if Rashad Metz is able to stay in front of him, then he will gain his lead back up to 2. Ooh, here goes Donnie Wu to the inside. They're side by side, a little nudge there. Almost pushing, they both pushing each other in the grass, sideways. They're both in the grass. Rashad Metz still side by side. Donnie Wu completes the pass. Almost no room for passing here, and these drivers are willing to take the risk here. Trevor Levine is actually off the track a little bit ahead, which allows these two behind them to close in on them now. Here we go through one of the most famous turns on the racetrack, as we're coming into the latter half of this race already. About an 8-minute race is going to be the shortest race on the schedule. But if you can win here, then you have some true talent. As Rashad Metz used a little bit of the bumper there to gain, he did it again. Rashad Metz now moves into second spot. Donnie Wu drops back to 3rd. Javen Tucker starting to gain a tad bit of ground. But this battle for second is definitely... Ooh, the bumper! Rashad Metz still able to hold on to the lead. Look at these cars being balanced and tossed around by this bumpy racetrack. Ooh, drifting it around the corner goes Rashad Metz, a little off the track there. Donnie Wu's going to be able to close in on the back bumper. Here we go from the front bumper of Rashad Metz. Donnie Wu. Here we look inside the view, and you can just tell by the interior view on Rashad Metz's helmet cam how much these cars are getting tossed around and how light and easy they can spin here. Shows just how difficult of a track. Trevor Levine, ooh, and behind him, Donnie Wu has gone off the track, which allows Javen Tucker to get past him. This will definitely help out Rashad Metz as we enter the final stages of the track. And since we only have 1 lap, this is the final stage of the race as we come on to one of the longest straightaway on the circuit. Donnie Wu trying to make this pass so he can stay within 10 points of the championship lead. Javen Tucker, a non-championship eligible driver, racing hard for that podium finish. And it looks like Rashad Metz has actually gained a little bit of time there down the straightaway on Trevor Levine. So these are the 2 battles, the one for the lead, that are closing in now. And The one, oh, Donnie Woo's able to slide past Javen Tucker. We go on to the final straightaways. And Trevor Levine's going to come off the final turn. Trevor Levine is going to win his second career GTO race. Rashad Metz will finish second. Then Javen Tucker will finish third. Or Donnie Woo will finish fourth. Let's see what happened there between Donnie Woo and Javen Tucker. Javen Tucker sends it into the side of Donnie Woo and pushes Donnie Woo off the track. Donnie Woo is not happy about that at all. That cost Donnie Woo 5 points in the championship lead. He is now 15 points behind Rashad Metz, which is still not that big of a gap. But after that contact off the front of Donnie Woo, here's a look from the front of Javen Tucker's car, and he just sends it into the corner, right into the side, sending Donnie Woo off the track. Not that good, not a clean move at all by Javen Tucker there. He is not eligible for a championship. Donnie Woo is, but let's see how that pan out. Trevor Levine is your winner. After finishing second 2 races in a row, he's able to bring the 08 Jaguar back into victory lane. And after this race, Miles Johnson is not championship eligible anymore. As you see him fly off the track, Miles Johnson has fell out of the championship race. Thanks for watching. We'll be back next week as we race at All States Village.